time, but my window is not. Come on, let me have the window. There it is. Oh, it says we're live. How about that? All right.
Welcome back to the Maxed Effort Kitchen podcast. We got a great segment for you. It's called The Athlete and the Chef. So sit back, relax, and let's go.
I like that. That was good. Cornell slept in a penis there, and not anywhere near me. That came out so wrong. Welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. Whoa, Damon, what's up? Already on the board. I like it. Cornell, man. So we took last weekend off. How was your holidays? Did they all was it good? Copacetic? Everything turn out well? Any drama? Any craziness?
Nothing that stands out that I can think of, so I think it went great.
That's good. Same here. Very low key. Very just the four of us type situations, and I couldn't. It was good. It was good all around. So
cool. No, New Year's was a little bit of a wild ride because about 10 minutes before my kids were going to go to the party they were going to, there was a hit and run accident literally right out front of our house, and it was a bunch of just out of high school kids, and the girl was driving and she was terrified, and whoever hit her took off. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the whole front grill of his truck fell off, but his bumper stayed there, and didn't fall off, and we didn't get a license plate. So, but everyone was safe, so it was fine.
Okay.
And then my kids were leaving, and I'm like, how about you guys take my giant truck? Because
I was just gonna go there.
I was like, as long as you don't do anything dumb, you can't get hurt in this truck. So they do that.
That's a good call. Stuff like that. You kind of, I don't know about you, but I kind of look at that as that just happened right in front of my face. Maybe this is somewhat of a sign. Let's be a little bit more cautious today. Right. And I always think about that. We went out to dinner. The family went out to dinner on New Year's Eve, and we went, did the early bird special, 5:00 dinner. I like that. No one's there. Don't need to worry about a wait, nothing like that. Dude, just be a little bit more cautious on that day. It always strikes me as that's probably a day, if people are going to drive drunk, that's going to be the night that's going to happen. So, so it was good. There's somebody just commented. This is great. It says, bro, your hair is very big.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good work. So anyways, where do we want to start? Cornell, let's start with a little recap of you. How's everything going? I've seen a couple pictures. I posted one last night, or a couple videos. You look like I think I might have said this to you. The first one you tagged me in was holy crap. The way you're moving is something I've never seen with you before. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
It's slow, but it's smooth. So that makes you able to move some weight generally. Not complaining at all about it. My training is very it's sporadic, but it's consistent. So I might have heavy-ish day on Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
I think last Saturday I forgot what I did last Saturday. I think last Saturday I wasn't feeling amazing, so I ended up doing 20-minute EMOM at 100 kilos.
Nice.
So again, for me, that is, if we're going off of all-time numbers, which I try to, because I don't like this BS of this is my 80% of what I'm capable of right now. It's let's be realistic here. That's about 60%, 66%.
Yeah.
20 minutes gets the hearts going, gets everything going. Then Monday, I forgot what happened Monday, but I didn't feel great. Just did the coaching, came in on Wednesday, which was New Year's Eve, I believe. Is that
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I ended
Yeah,
up
that's right.
hitting 5 at 125,
Hmm.
maybe 120. I don't know. They kind of blend together.
Okay.
And kind of called it there, but they all felt real heavy, but 100 moved the same way 120 moved, and they felt the same. So I just kind of left it there. And then I went up to Coach Josh on Saturday and I said, "You're my coach today. So the person who's normally here isn't here. And you got to give me my minimum I got to hit and then the maximum I'm able to go to." And he just said, well, what he took into account what I've been doing and how it's been going. And I showed him some videos and he said, just give it hell.
Yeah,
Go see what you can do. So I
I
ended
like
up
that.
did it, went from the blocks, haven't hit anything from the blocks in months, maybe a year.
Right.
I ended up hitting 140 on the second attempt. So no complaints there, but it's
No.
on the way up. So my
Well,
squat is like minimal, but I'm
see, I was
doing
just
it.
going to ask you about that. Okay.
Yep. So I hit like 3x3 at 110 on Monday. So
Okay.
I've been increasing 10. So tomorrow is Monday. I'll be hitting a 3x3 at 120 tomorrow.
Hell yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before. You're maintaining strength. You're not building strength. You know, that's at this point, that's what the squat's for, if I'm not wrong.
Actually, so we're having a different mindset on the squats right now. Is I
Okay.
haven't squatted in so long. And I mean, when you've squatted as much as I've squatted, you don't think that 100-kilo squat is going to do anything for you.
Right.
But there are little muscles that I'm finding that haven't been used just because I'm like, oh, if I'm not squatting over 180 to 200, then what's the point in doing it? I'm not needing it for my lifts, but I think I'm needing it more like I need to stretch.
Right.
Kind of like a mobility session. So I'm I'm working these little muscles and I'm building these up, and I haven't felt fatigued, thankfully. But I'm feeling like my hips are feeling much better. My back is feeling much better. And it's just one of those, like, kind of have to check your ego a little bit and be like, hey, we're going to go squat near nothing compared to what you're used to squatting when you were squatting.
Yeah.
And we're just going to do some reps and we're just going to go through it and then see what this does. And I mean, that's what programming and weightlifting is it's a bunch of trial and error experiments and seeing how it goes. So,
well, yeah. And also, and if, I don't know if you're anything like me, it's like when I haven't done something in a while, it's like, I got to build back up. And, you know, I've been in the realm of like building up a squat and being okay with where I stop on a daily basis. So it's like, if 100 kilos is where you stop because you're feeling it, like that's where you stop, you know. And we all know the old adage of like, you know, add a kilo next week, or add, you know, maybe in squats, maybe it's 5 kilos, or like you said, you're adding, you're building your base up. And that's kind of, that's advantageous for lifting, but also like, that's how my body's always worked as well. And then next thing you know, you're squatting, you know, 180 and you're like, man, this feels really good. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I love that you're doing. I like that you talked about the squat, because you've always, you know, for me and pretty much everyone I know, like we've always looked at you as like you're like the squat king. Like you squatted for, what was it, like 200 plus days in a row, like
250.
Yeah. So I mean, you got a little bit of backing there, which I like. But I don't know. I think that like I said, you're moving differently than you usually do, but I don't think it's a bad thing. So I think everything's good.
I think I'm a lot more like I'm focused on what I'm doing, like for the outcome. So I don't want to do anything that is dumb just because it's fun. And I have like a goal in mind that we're trying to shoot for. And I've got roughly like 12 weeks left to do it. So
yeah, there you go. And there's no rush, you know?
Yeah.
So
not yet.
You'll feel that rush soon enough, right?
Hey, so what happened last weekend with you? Anything special?
No, you know, it's just some lifetime freaking PRs. But hey, okay. And still, I don't know what was different, I can probably point out a couple different things in this training block. First one that stands out is I didn't get injured. And as many people have pointed out, and we all know about me, I'm notorious for getting injured and not like injured to the point of not lifting, but enough to get me to stop in the cycle and have to revert about a month out. And that didn't happen this time. So I played it smart. My protein intake has been pretty massive, and I like that. I'm not sponsored by any means, but these overnight oats, dude, they're great. Then they have 20 grams of protein in them. But I was drinking one of those every day. I was taking creatine with HBM. I think that is, what is it? HU something. Anyways, it's an extra supplement in creatine that helps stop muscle wasting. All this stuff is hypothetical, right? Like, who knows if it actually was working? But the one thing I do know is that I got there on game day and I felt great. And I lifted to my potential on that day. And I felt like I had more in the tank. So I went out and I hit, yes, Damon, HMB. I hit 110 in the snatch, which I've never done in competition. I've done it twice before in training ever. Big time, like, and it wasn't even like, it was 100, 105, 110. And there was no real talk about it. It was like, this is what this is what we're doing. I said, okay. There was no doubt. I didn't, once I hit 100, I was like, oh, here we go. Because it was, I powered 100. And then 105, I actually dropped under the bar and I held that bottom position. And that, like, when I'm holding that position and standing up with ease, gave me the confidence to walk out there at 110. And if you follow Max Effort Kitchen, you've seen the videos. It moved really well. Yeah. And so it set me up for clean and jerks, opened at 130, went 135, and then went 140. 140 looked and felt like I probably, if I was trying to retire or stop weightlifting for the rest of my life, I probably would have tried 145, maybe 150. But I wasn't into that. And I was just into getting that. My main goal was to get that lifetime PR total, which I got, was 250. But it also showed me that, hey, you got more in the tank. And here's something that I don't know if we've really talked much about on here. I think we've talked about it on the polo, but like the idea to hitting these lifetime PRs at the ages that we are, it kind of boggles my mind a little bit. It goes against everything or that people talk about in the world of fitness and weightlifting and weights and all that. There will come a point when we stop hitting PRs, I would imagine. I mean, I guess not, because every age is a different age. Who knows? But dude, I mean, it's the first time I've had a competition to where I was the last lifter on each time. I know that last time I lifted a Coley, I was the last for the snatch, but second to last or third to last on the clean and jerk. But both times I was the last. And Joe asked me, he goes, hey, why don't we just do local competitions? You seem to do really good there. I'm like, and I was like, Joe, I don't know why it is. I had a probably like 6, 7 people that personally knew me that were there. That's including my family, Damon, so one other friend that was there. And like, that was cool because they gave energy in the crowd. And I know you felt this before when you got people in the crowd, like cheering you on. Like, it's not only can I not miss, but it's, I'm not going to miss. I'm gonna do everything I can, It was just a really cool event, and it was so much fun to be a part of and to be successful. But here's my goal now is I need to put it together on a national stage, because when I get to these national stages, something changes in me and I'm struggling at some of the bottom numbers. So that's something that Joe and I are going to be talking about, and just kind of figuring out how we get that accomplished.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a couple things to kind of throw out there.
Yeah.
The hitting PRs at these ages.
Yeah.
I really don't like it when people talk about that, because
Okay.
all it's doing is trying to put their self-doubt into you.
Yeah.
Just because they want to give up on what they are trying to do. And a lot of these people that are doing this or saying these things, I feel they haven't been doing the sport for very long. Like, and I'm going to say even 5 years. 5 years isn't that long in the sport. I don't think I started it didn't really click for me until around year 8.
Yeah.
That's when stuff was like really falling into place. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's fun.
And that 8 to 11, that
Mhm.
that 3-year little bracket right there, that was like the sweet spot.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit on the last show just about, there was one guy on our old team who just kept saying behind my back and like wanted it to get to me that like, I can't keep doing this. He's
Mhm.
going to get hurt if he keeps
Mhm.
pushing these numbers.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, I've been beat up, but that's just where I live. And you push something too far, you get overuse issues. You do that, you figure it out. You got to learn to pivot. And one of the things that we talked about the other day on the polo
Mhm.
was, I listened to a podcast and they were saying it's not how'd they phrase it? It's not like the strongest aren't going to survive. It's the most flexible are going to survive.
Yeah.
And there was not a weightlifting podcast, but it was when you can learn to pivot. And if this happens, you do that. If that happens, you do this. And I think that there's too many people that we know in weightlifting where they push. And then 3 weeks out from a meet, they tweak something and they're like, it's over. I can't, like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, and our mindset, because we've discussed this multiple times, you have 3 weeks to get better.
Mhm.
Like, you have 3 weeks to heal your body. You're not going to be a better weightlifter in the next 3 weeks. But if you can switch that mindset now from like, the work is done, the strength is there, now let me see how I can recover to be as good on competition day as possible. That's the real key. It's almost a good thing to have a slight injury right before the meet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to push. And then you might have peaked the week before.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can push those PRs as long as you want to.
Mhm. I
mean,
agree with that.
I'm chasing one right now that most people in weightlifting aren't even going to touch ever, no matter how long they've been weightlifting. I would say probably 99% of weightlifters, males, are not going to touch the number I'm chasing right now.
Right. I think you're right about that.
And I will, if I make it, I'll be 44 years old.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like what you're saying, because ultimately what you're saying is stop putting limits on yourself or letting other people limit you. And that's a big, I'll be the first to announce my insecurities. But when the way that my insecurities work is they keep on getting squashed, the more and more I do this and the more I feel these weights and the more I'm like, getting out of my own head. There's always, early on, I always had these personally, I always had these excuses for why I wasn't doing well. And maybe it was like, I don't have a training partner. I'm all by myself. It's cold in the gym. It's, I don't, excuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you start to abandon those excuses and just say, you know what, this is weightlifting. This is the way it works. It's different for everybody. Everybody's body's going to react differently, but there is some symmetry in the amount of reps that it takes to actually get to a point where you can start lifting bigger weights and start PRing and taking it, at the level that you want to be taking it. And I do think that that's a big thing about, especially, personally for me, I think that it's the amount of reps that I've put in, and that it's like this conglomerate amount, or what am I trying to say? It's the compacted amount of reps that I've put in over 8 years. And I think that there is something to that. And I'm sure there's some mathematician out there that can come up with some equation on this about how many reps that you need, but everybody's body's a little bit different. But, I think about the amount of times I get down to that garage and I'm hitting snatches from the empty bar to the end of my sets, and how many times I'm doing that over a day, over a week, over a month, over a year. And that starts to build and build and build. And I don't know what human out there can do something that many times and still not progress. I know there are some people out there that do that. But that's where just like in anything else, and I've been talking a lot about this in business, you have to take a point to reevaluate what you're doing if it's not working and pivot to something that is working. And that's okay. I like what you said about the injury thing, because that keeps you honest. It makes it so you're, because we all know as weightlifters, when we start hitting big weights, we can get a little big in our heads. I know that. And your body's like, hey bro, I'm still here and I'm still at the age that I'm at. So keep doing what you're doing. Just stop pushing it past this point or whatever. I mean, I've evaluated everything down to the music I'm listening to when I'm lifting. And that's my overthinking. But I think that if one thing is true, I'm happy. I'm on a freaking awesome team. And the people that I'm on the team with, they push me. And I try to push them as much as I can, but it's kind of remote, so it's fine. But also it was just an awesome event. I could sit here and break it down as much as you want, but it was just so much fun. And I just talked to Joe today. I'm going to be going to Salt Lake. And that'll be good for Masters Nationals. So
cool. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. But it did bring up a good question. And so last night, we had our heroic barbell holiday party over at Joe's house. And I was talking to one of the other Masters lifters, and mind you, he's 70, but we were talking about the time it takes, because he also competed, and he goes, hey, have you touched a barbell yet? And I was like, yeah, twice. How about you? And he's like, I had to. He goes, after a couple days, weird things start hurting if I don't touch a barbell. And I was like, dude, I know that feeling. I'm like, all of a sudden my back started getting tight, and I'm like, my back never gets tight. So in your opinion, and your perspective, what do you do, and what do you think is I don't know, best practice on that?
Like right after a meet?
Yeah, say you compete on Saturday. What are you doing that next week?
For some reason, I hurt more 3 days later, regardless of what I'm doing.
Yeah, I hear you there.
I will say that I don't know this person who's 70 years old.
Yeah.
I hope to be still touching a barbell at 70. I hope to be alive at 70.
His name is Bill McLaughlin. Look him up. He's crazy. Anyways, go ahead.
Sounds like an old person. No
Yeah.
offense. I try to get out and do other things that are not barbell related, but are moving.
Yeah.
So that's when I will generally go into the Globo gym, and I will do that type of a thing. I know that the movements that I need to do are very dynamic for weightlifting. So I try to get out of the dynamic stuff and just get to the more, whatever the other stuff is. Like the machines, I'll do the leg press, I'll do the quad extension, the hamstrings, I'll do all of those types of things. I'll try to, not that I hike, but take the dog for walks more often, or even not bring the dog. I just try to go out and do other stuff that is active, but it's outside of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's wrong to get back in and to do light stuff, but at the same time, you generally will I would, if it was me, I'm going to start pushing to see how close I can get before I'm in pain again.
Right.
And sometimes I want to take a little bit more time off than that. But I disagree with a lot of these people who are like, they'll take 2 months off and go
no way.
find themselves. And I saw a bunch of people after, I think it was
Going to Joshua
Nationals.
Tree.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people after Nationals like go and do a bunch of drugs while they're hiking and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in your life, but I got more to life than this. So
no, thank you. I'm out on that. But I'll tell you what I did last week, which was I took a little piece of something you said, and then I took a little something of what I wanted to do, which was I would do like a 1,000-meter row, 2 sets of 500, nice and easy. I'm not like, going for time by any means. Get the blood moving in the beginning. I muscle snatched. And then I did some push press, and then I did another 500. And it was like, that was on Tuesday. And then Thursday I went out and I did some low block stuff, and I called it a day. And it was pretty easy. Didn't work up past, I did like, either 85 or 90, somewhere around there in the snatch, and then 110 in the clean and jerk. And then I squatted 130 for a set of 5.
So you basically did a weightlifter's version of stretching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's all you were really doing, is you were getting into positions. You weren't doing anything heavy. You were stretching.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is like, we got to take care of our bodies. Like, we can get out there. You hear it all across the board. It's like people say, well, no, you should only lift 3 days a week. And then there's people that say you should lift 6 to 7 days a week. Well, I'm here to tell you that you lift as much as your body can handle it, but you got to take care of your body in a balanced way. And what Cornell just said is you're stretching, but you're doing it in the way that your sport is designed. And so that's really helpful to be able to get out there, still hit positions, not moving weight, getting blood moving, stretching your muscles, getting whatever out of it is in it, because if you just competed and all the adrenaline and all that stuff, it's good. As an old teammate of ours used to say, is good lifting. That to me, it felt good. And I was like, yesterday I didn't lift. I'm going to go after this session. I'm going to go do what I like to call a primer set, which is I'm going to lift from the floor, and I'm going to work up to a 75% in everything I do. And what that's doing is it's getting my mind right for tomorrow, because we're starting a new block tomorrow. And so I just, I think that for me, I finally have figured this like weird routine that works for my body. And if you're a lifter and you're listening to this, like, if you're a new lifter, like, find a routine. It's not going to happen in the beginning. Look at 8 years in, and I'm hitting my lifetime PRs. So patience, routine, patience, and some more patience.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my advice.
Another part with the lifetime PR part, like they say in like powerlifting and strongmen, a lot of the top guys, they don't get their true like top end strength till they're roughly like 40 to 45 years old.
Yeah.
Like you'll see people squatting 700-800 pounds at 50 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to downplay anything that you've done, but I try to look at my numbers as, and I'm going to say it like it's yours. You only snatched 110,
right?
Meaning this is all you've snatched so far. This isn't your finished number. This isn't your goal number. Like you're not going to, let's say, God forbid something bad happens and you can't snatch anymore. Right. You'd be happy with that. Yeah. But as of right now, this is only what you've done. This isn't the goal.
It's not the end.
Goal has got to be 25 plus.
Heck yeah, hell yeah, it is. I mean, and that's the thing is like, and I'll say that out loud sometimes, and I will get people looking at me like, dude, you just hit 110. Calm down. I've actually had somebody say that to me, and I was like, bro, no, you're not understanding. These are like big picture goals. And I like to explain it. I do this in business a lot where I'm like, no, see, here's the 30,000 feet goal. And then I got the 50,000 feet goal. Here's the 90,000 feet goal. I want to surpass 25 in the snatch. Like that, the higher up, the bigger the picture. Yeah. Don't put limits on yourself. I mean,
No,
I know we've heard that from other people, but like, just don't take advice from this guy who overthinks all the time, or maybe take a little bit of advice from him. But like, yeah, don't limit yourself to your age and weight and all that stuff. Just keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, don't put limits, but be realistic.
Yeah, that's a good way to say that. I like that.
I'm not telling you like, oh, if you snatch 125, I'm not gonna be like it's only 125. I'm gonna be like, oh, maybe 200s in the cards someday.
I like that jump right.
But it's like we're having realistic expectations of what's possible, but also you could probably go clean 110 right now, cold.
Yeah,
it wouldn't feel good, but you could do it.
Yeah.
You could probably squat 110 cold.
Yeah.
Again, wouldn't feel great.
No.
You could probably jerk 110 cold.
Yeah.
So if you can do all those, then easily you could snatch it when you're warmed up and you're primed and you're ready. So let's try to get those numbers where they're creeping up. Like you're not lifting ungodly numbers that are like, he can barely even pick this up off the floor.
Right.
So I think that you have so much more that you haven't tapped into, and you're like I kind of said earlier, you're at the beginning of this 3-year block right now where I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And it's exciting. And I don't know if you had this, like, were you aware of it in the midst of it?
Looking back at videos.
Yeah.
The way I'm like playing with like 160, 165 and just throwing around snatches at 140, I'm like, good Lord, what was I thinking? Like now I'm like, I'm so stoked if I hit a 140 snatch. And back then it was like, oh, doubles from the blocks. I think I tripled it from the blocks, doubled from the floor. I've done more than that for a double. I'm like, I watched a video where I'm like, oh, what am I? Oh, I got 140 on the bar. Cool. Oh my gosh, I did a 8-second pause at the knee. What the heck is going? What? Like those are things in my brain where I can't even fathom that anymore, and I can't. Yeah, I don't know who that was back then.
so and I think that's a good thing. You shouldn't really ever recognize it in the moment, just because that's probably means you're thinking about it too much. But yeah, dude, I mean that,
and I think it's another thing that I've coached a lot of people to their mindset to be is it's not 140. It was probably 5 kilos more than my last attempt.
Yeah.
And that was probably 10 kilos more than my attempt before that. So I'm always looking at it as it's just the next step. It's not like that's probably what you're going to need to start working with these competitions for national stuff is it's not a national competition. It's just the next competition.
It's the next one.
Like your last one was at this date. And then maybe you'll do a primer competition where it's expected to go 6 for 6, not even like finish with your openers kind of thing. And just smoke through it. And then the next meet is like, all right, the big one's the next one's in 3 weeks. Yeah. Not, we gotta take a week off. We got to do this. We got to do that. So,
well, 2 things about that. And, it was about 2 weeks out. I was talking to Joe and he's like, what do you want to do for the last 2 weeks? And I said, hey, can we treat this kind of like a train through meet? I go, I seem to do really well when I'm not like on a 2-week, like back off taper. And so he had me hit my openers that Saturday. And then on Monday, it was openers again. And then Tuesday was the last warm up. And then Wednesday was like, okay, now we're going to back it off to 70%, take Thursday off. Friday, it's just bar work. And then Saturday, here we go. And I like that. I like the I think about it as like almost like everything is so agitated and tight and ready to go that come game day, I can just explode. And so there's that. There's also, I think, something that I'm to be aware of is that, and mind you, I know that there's people out there that compete a lot more than 4 times in a year, but that was the most I've ever competed in a year. And I do think that competing is good. You know, you've done it where I think you did it like what, 10 times a year, right? Or didn't you compete
like
10?
that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think it was a little more, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was too. But I think there's something to that. And so a conversation between Joe and I was like, hey, you know, he was like, you know, he said the local thing. And I was like, well, let's explore that. And he goes, well, you know, we could do like meets in Eugene. We could go up to Seattle. Those are still local meets and traveling. And we'll sprinkle those in throughout the year. So, you know I'm not going to Athens. You know, it's not in the books, work and life.
On your financial self. Sorry. That's what it really is.
That's what it really is. Yeah, absolutely, I am.
Yeah,
but hey, you know, this year I'm going to do the WSO, which I've never done before, and so that'll be fun. It'll be a fun year of lifting. I'm look forward to it. I look forward to seeing how this next 12 weeks goes for you. I'm not one to sit there and make resolutions and be like, oh, new year, new me, or no, what are they saying these days? New year, better me. No, I'm not. Hey, we're just in another year. So it's another opportunity to fucking get out there and kill it. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
So, someone asked me at the gym, they're like, what are your New Year's resolutions? I'm like, I don't have any. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm still working on the ones that I came up, my goals from years ago.
Yeah.
Like I've never stopped chasing these.
Yeah, exactly. I love it, man.
They're probably not listening right now. Guess who wasn't at the gym while I was hitting like
I'm sure I know who that was.
Handful of everybody who's got their new year, new you.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, okay, Globo gyms suck this time of year. We don't have a ton of weightlifting gyms around here. We have probably 3 or 4 that I can think of, but they're all combined with CrossFits, most of them. And so I don't know. My head's in the sand on that one because I have a garage gym. So
yeah,
which I'm going to be making some improvements, some goals this year. I'm putting a sauna down there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say new members.
No, I wish, but no. I'm going to put a sauna down there. I'm going to lay down some more mats. My son and maybe a couple of his football buddies are going to come through and do some squats and deadlifts and maybe some calisthenics stuff. I'm going to kind of outfit the garage a little bit more to be a functioning gym that I like. Looking
back at my son when he was squatting.
Yeah.
It's like a baby giraffe.
It really is.
It's hilarious.
I know. It's funny. It's funny to watch, but it's like we have the opportunity to try to teach him what we know. We know that whatever I teach him is probably going out the window the second he walks out of that gym. So, whatever.
The funnier part is when you start looking at them and they walk out in shorts and you're like, why are your kneecaps so big? Like the rest of your legs are not big. And then they try to squat down. It's like, you're going to grow into those kneecaps eventually.
There's something funny about that right there is Damon came over not too long ago and he brought me a box because he just moved recently and
I think he's listening.
No, I know. He gave me some knee sleeves and he's like, hey, I ordered these and these are just a little small on me. So I was like, Jack, put these on. And they fit him because of his kneecaps. They're so big.
I didn't even know he had big kneecaps, but that means he's going to have big knees.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. And you can see them. They're starting to get like bulbous. Oh, man. Dude, good show. Do you got anything else to throw out there?
Oh, I haven't. If you guys have old barbells, this is a freaking nightmare to do.
Okay.
Old broken barbells, don't throw them out.
Okay.
Take the sleeves off, trash those.
Okay.
Then cut them off. like cut it where the sleeve would come to, and it weighs about 6 kilos, 6 or 7 kilos. And you've got a really, really good PVC pipe that has a little bit of weight to it. Now, I don't even think it's 6 or 7 kilos. I've got one. I can't take it out because it's packed in the trailer right now, but it's got the knurl. It's got some weight to it. It's got all the right lines on it. So any gyms that are getting rid of bars, see if you can grab one and then just hacks. I mean, I used a bandsaw hacksaw to cut it off, but
Yeah.
and it still took some time.
I imagine so, right?
I was like, I feel like you could sell these things and make a decent chunk on it. Like if you picked up a bunch of like broken old barbells, you could probably sell them for $150 a piece.
Crazy. Okay.
So,
I like that.
yeah,
That's
that was
neat.
just something I did over the weekend.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, I don't have any like really much food stuff to talk about, so I'll save that for next time. But
Sure.
take that barbell trick out there and you know, if anybody does that, post a picture of it and give us a tag. Next week, let's talk about next week. Next week I am doing a live show with a female lifter from my team. We're going to be here at the house. I'm going to make some pizzas. We're going to talk about weightlifting and how they got into weightlifting. They got a pretty neat story. I'm really looking forward to that. You and I still on. If you want to do same time, same day, that works for me. If that works for you.
I have to check. I'm flying back on Saturday from Tennessee.
Cool. Maybe a good time just to take a weekend off. Yeah. Although I'm always down. So you let me know. Yeah. But yeah, it should be good stuff next weekend. And we're flying into the new year. So we like it.
Cool.
Yeah, man. I hope you travel safe, Cornell. Looking forward to hearing about how the house is turning out and seeing pictures and stuff like that. So anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Adios. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you, Cornell, for being here. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.